Alright guys, I'm back again. I'm gonna do another stock video. So before I go into that stock video, I'd like to say this. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not your YouTube advisor, or I'm not yours, and I'm not getting paid to advise y'all on how to pick your stocks. I'm an investor and I'm looking for dividend stock I want to invest in for the long term. Now, before I get into that, I am gonna tell you, hey, I am looking at a stock called Comcast, and they are a very simple stock. They deal with, let's look at the company, our company or their company. They deal with, you know, Xfinity is what they are. They do have a bunch of location. They do have their own streaming server or their platform. They do have their own content and experience for entertainment, sports, and they aren't a bad company. Now, what they do, let's go ahead, accept all that. Look at the earnings report. So Comcast, they did have a 0.4 or 0.454 or $5 or 0.54 cent raise since the last time. Currently they are at $38.29. They are based off of Philadelphia, I believe. So their ticker symbol is CMCSA, and they're a global media technology company and they do connectivity and platform that they provide worldwide. And they do it through, Xfinity, Comcast Business, Sky Product, and they're not a bad company. Let's look at, well, that's great. They do have a pretty good increase. I'm thinking about buying them, and they do give a dividend yield. About Comcast, on July 12th, 2024, they had a 52-week high of $47 and a 52-week low of $36. Dun dun dun. And let's look at the dividend history, since I am looking at dividend stocks. The annual dividend growth for 5 years is 7.84% yield. That's really good. They do a payout of 28% ratio. A number of dividend increase in the last 5 years is 5 times. That one every year, it seems like. So in 7/24/24, they gave 31 cents. 4/24/24, they gave 31 cents per share and per quarter. Now, let's see if they missed any dates. Doesn't look like it really missed any dates, but it does have a pretty good dividend yield. Now, it is on, by Zach ranking, it's on a hold. And let's go into the next page, and that is the Comcast by Microsoft Start. This is the program I like using to analyze my stocks. The analyst does say it is a buy. Now, the performance in the last year is a negative 8.86%, and last 6 months is negative 10%. Now, I'm going to go ahead and look at the finance, and the finance looks decent. Their net profit is 12.43%. Let's see what their revenue growth was from 2023-2024. Not much of a growth there. Cost of goods did increase, went down. So 38 to 36. So they sold less stuff. And gross profit went up 1.92%. And operation expense went down. So operating expense going down actually is a good thing. It costs less to run them. Operation income it went up 66%. So other income, biggest part I look at is net profit. It's 12.43%, and that's good. I'm gonna go ahead and look at the investor. Let's see who invests in them. I do like seeing that BlackRock is invested in them, Vanguard's invested in them. So you do have some pretty big companies investing in them. Fidelity has an investment in them, but they did decrease their share where BlackRock increased their share. New shareholder, I'm not sure who any of these people are. Exit shareholder, all right, no big corporations really leaving them. And let's go ahead and look in the insider trading. So let's go back real quick. So insider trading, 119,000 shares has been sold. So 3 people sold. Let's see who those 3 people are. Maybe they had a reason. Robert Bryan. So the CEO is selling his share. That's kind of concerning for me. If the CEO is selling his shares, he doesn't really have belief in the company. Who's Calvinized Michael? He's the president. So the CEO and the president is selling their share. And then let's see who else is selling their share. And Edward Breen, lead independent director. So you have the CEO and the president and the lead independent director selling shares. Man, that doesn't look good. Really doesn't look good. So investors are telling to sell, which kind of makes sense, because if I saw the CEO, president selling that much share, it's pretty concerning unless they have a pretty good reason. But who knows what their reason are. Now, analytic price target. Let's see, monthly price target, 12-month price target, they believe it's going to be $46.90. That's based on the analyst. So they believe this stock is going to be worth $46. And let's look at the projection. It looks like it's going to be hovering around $39. Let's see, max. Actually, I don't even know it's going to be $39. I'm going to say a hard no on buying this right now. Even though they have a good dividend yield, it's just something off-putting that, Comcast, they have a CEO and president that's in charge of a corporation that is selling their shares. That's just very off-putting to me. If it was someone else in the company, I wouldn't be as worried, but a CEO and the president, they're the hope of the company. They're supposed to lead the company into a better industry. So they know stuff that we don't know. And that is very, heartbreaking. So let's see what stories make it bullish. Comcast wide and fiber internet rollout yet in Minnesota. Well, that's good news. Comcast beats estimated gains and earning report. That's a good news. That's not bad. So they do have some good news. Now, bearish. Comcast now 12 straight seasons of losses. So they had 12 straight seasons of losses. And, they have a bunch of good news coming out about them. But it's just something that if an owner of a company starts selling his shares of the company, it makes you think that they are going to predict that the company is failing. That's what I kind of get whenever the president and CEO sells, large amount of shares, and that just, if I go back and look, let's see how many shares the CEO sell. Remember, Brian is the CEO. He sold 32K of shares. Now, let's say he sold it for 38. So he sold $121,000 worth of share at the minimum. And then Breen Edward sold, let's double check, 76. Wow. Let's do 38. He sold $288,000 worth. That's a lot. And this is in March or May 8th. And that's, I could be wrong. That Breen Edward, he's the lead independent director. You're telling me, you get all these shares, and I do understand that's part of their income. But why are you selling $288,000 worth of your company? It's kind of concerning, and that is something I pay attention as an investor, because you can go up and talk to the CEO of the company and the president of the company, and they're telling you how great the company is doing, how great they're doing on paper, but then they're turning their back and selling their share of the company, which to me, it's not a very good thing. Now, they do give a dividend yield of 3% or 3.24%. So they do have a high dividend yield. And I do see investors coming in. So those are some plus. Just that it looks like it might be on there. They might not break out of their next hump or the next breaking point they have to do. As if you look at the chart, they're having problems passing $39. And this is the 5-year chart. At one point they were, 57, but it looks like they're having issues breaking that 39.16. Let's look at the puts real quick, because maybe. Let's look at the option and puts, see what people are putting it at. So 284. So there's more people at 38.50. Let's see. Now, if y'all don't know what options are, I'll look it up for y'all right now. So what is stock option? Stock option is a contract between two parties that gives the buyer the right to buy or sell underlying stock at the predetermined price within a specific time period. A seller of a stock option is called the option writer, and seller paid the premium for the contract purchase. So someone gets the right to buy or sell, and when I look at it, I look at what's the percentage. Now, a lot of people are at the 38.50. So either people are going to buy or sell at 38.50, and then there's a lot of people at 39.50. 39, it's 166. So if it goes up, they have the option to sell the stock, or they have option to buy the portion, and this is helps determine if it's going to keep going up. And this is the breaking point, 39.50. So if it goes past 39.50, then the next breaking point there doesn't seem to be one yet. So that's in my opinion. Now, they're also at 38.50. So these are the things you have to pay attention to. Now, put option is at $38. So let's look at what put option is. So put option can be used to try to profit from a downturn, or they can use it to protect the portion, right? So the put option is at $38. So I don't know if this is protecting it or they're trying to force it down to 642 to make the profit. So there's 642. So if it makes it to 38 or makes it to 37.50, I might pick some up. But right now, it does not look like it's recovering, and it looks like it's still decreasing. So just because it has a pretty high dividend yield at 3.24% and has a pretty good record for the 5-year or the max, but the 5-year, 3-year, 1 year is all in the negative. It makes, and year to date it's in the negative. It makes me think it's still not going to recover. So please like and subscribe to the video. But yeah, that's my input on Comcast. I'm not buying it unless it hits like $37.